Good afternoon. Good afternoon. My name is Keaton Jack. You are on the Young God Show. Today on the show we have a very special guest. Clap it up for Justin Reed, aka Miles, in the studio.
Clap.
How's everybody? And we have Katie behind the glass. So Justin, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you guys?
So on today's show,
Also have
headlines,
Javier.
and we also have Javier. Headlines: Bill Cosby, father to me, rapist allegedly.
Wow.
For the first time, rape allegations have surfaced about Bill Cosby, and most of you have already known this. 20 women have 20 different women have hopped up and said that Bill Cosby has sexually molested.
It was like a week ago too.
Or raped them. But what's more interesting is that for the first time on November 17th, Bill Cosby appeared on Twitter to talk about it. He has thanked both View co-host Whoopi Goldberg and has expressed his skepticism about some of the accuser's stories, and singer Jill Scott, who has also defended him on Twitter, noting that the allegations haven't been proved. And he basically just stepped up on Twitter and said thank you at Whoopi Goldberg and thank you at Miss Jill Scott from the Cosby family. Now, the tweets comes as presumed in mounting for Bill Cosby, who is 77-year-old, to say more about the allegations. So far, his only comments about the 20 women who have told similar decades-old stories of sexual assault came before his Melbourne show, which he told Florida Today. He says, "I know people are tired of me not saying anything, but a guy doesn't have to answer to like allegations." Can you pronounce that word? Slack.
Sorry.
And people. I mean, whenever there's an opportunity about rape, people are always gonna make jokes. Javi?
Yeah, so a famous show, 30 Rock, had made a Bill Cosby rape joke in 2008, way before any of this really surfaced to the mass media. And basically, Tracy Morgan, one of the actors on the show, was talking about how Bill Cosby was his idol, and then one of his friends, Rick, had prank called him as Bill Cosby, and then he said, Tracy Morgan said, "Bill Cosby, you got a lot of nerve getting on the phone with me after what you did to my Aunt Paulette." Rick responds, "I think you're confusing me with someone else." Tracy responds, 1971, Cincinnati. She was a cocktail waitress with a droopy eye. This is totally hinting to Bill Cosby raping his aunt. And apparently there's been a whole bunch of other hints on Bill Cosby's own show. He had a cartoon show. I'm not sure what the name is, but one of the characters, Pudding, we all know that Bill Cosby, like, a huge thing with him is pudding. He said, "Without the pudding, I'm just another sexual predator." And no one really knew what it was, considering it was a cartoon. But, now you're putting the pieces together. It's like, this was Bill Cosby basically saying, I'm a sexual predator.
Since 2002 are when the earliest dated stories back. It's interesting. February 10th, 2005, a girl named Tamara Green, a California lawyer, she appeared on the Today Show and alleges that Cosby drugged and sexually assaulted her in the 1970s. Green tells Matt Lauer that Cosby, who had given her pills to combat a fever, drove her to her apartment and began groping, as she quotes, "groping me and kissing me and touching me and handling me and taking off my clothes." According to Green, Cosby left two $100 bills on her coffee table afterwards. Cheap. Cosby's lawyer issues a statement. "Miss Green's allegations are absolutely false. Miss Cosby does not know the name Tamara Green or Tamara Lucier, her maiden name, and the incident she describes did not happen. The fact that she may have repeated this story to others is not corroboration." Now that is a very interesting story. She says this happened back in the 70s, and she brought it up in 2005. It's now 2014.
Yeah, that's the thing that I'm not getting. Like, why are they bringing it all up now?
That's what I'm saying. Well, I mean, it's been since 2002 to about maybe 2014. Now people are just bringing it up out of nowhere, and now they're finally taking him to court about it.
Yeah, this is Mr. P. I just want to jump in here. They just seem to be coming out of the woodwork now, and I don't know why they're picking now instead of 10, 20, 30 years ago, but there's enough of them to make you really seriously, consider what this really happened. And a lot of what he's been saying has been very murky, and he's not really been coming with a lot of this stuff. So, with a lot of the information. But I want to ask you guys the question. How has this affected you? I mean, he's been a father figure. You probably all your life
No.
you've seen Huxtable, Cliff Huxtable, and him being this beloved father figure. What does this do to that, and how do you feel about it?
Yeah, Mr. Pete, I was reading a Deadspin article when this was first coming out, and they put it, I think, the best way possible. It was, America isn't ready to find out that Bill Cosby is a psycho rapist. No one wants to hear that. He's been a father figure for everyone. And if you think about it, right now is the most progressive, the media has ever been. We have a whole bunch of things that back then might not have been okay. You got gay marriage is like, everyone thinks it's okay now, and it's a good thing. The more progressive everything gets, the more it doesn't have to be sugar-coated. Bill Cosby isn't the most famous person in the world anymore. Is he still a father figure? Yeah, but he's more known for his memories. Now that it's not the 70s, now that he isn't popping, it's kind of, it's okay to finally get it out there. And, I mean, this has been going on since, 2005, the first allegation? It's not like this hasn't happened. It's just I feel like the media is ready to accept the fact that this guy is crazy.
I have to completely disagree. I don't think the media. I mean, like, he's an old guy up in age. Like, I mean, not to say the worst, but he only has so many years left on the planet, and he's gonna have to go out after all he's done. As a humanitarian. I mean, if it's true, it's true. Like, we have to live up to the law. We have to live up, to the law. But it's just like to ruin an image like that.
Yeah,
the same thing happened to someone like Michael Jackson. It's just like.
I completely disagree with you.
Maybe our younger generation is ready to accept that because Bill Cosby didn't have as
Didn't matter to us. Exactly.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you look at like the entire black community that grew up around like the 80s.
That's not the point, though. It's not taking a shot at what he did, because the point is everybody knows him.
It's gonna just be so much harder for people to deal with.
Obviously,
I mean, imagine
but the
how
point
many.
Is,
like, there are so many kids that grew up wishing, I wish I had a dad like Bill Cosby and stuff like that.
Right.
I mean, and to hear, that he raped 20 women.
That's why. That's
Yeah.
why you have to make it news.
Yeah.
That's why it's not.
It has to be in the news, but it's just like so many people until it finally comes out. Like, as long as people keep saying it's alleged, then people are just gonna turn a deaf ear because they're like, well, there's no way in my mind Bill Cosby could have done something like that. You get what I'm saying?
Well, I mean,
like,
I feel
I'm
like
not
that's
even
something
gonna
different, though.
I'm not even gonna front. I've seen the Cosby Show like a handful of times, but it's not like I can't quote anything Theo has said. I don't really know like that the characters' names.
The thing is, in a like way I can, like, I grew up on like those kind of shows. Like I grew up on like that, like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and like they've also like brung Bill Cosby's like little, not like his some of the things that he has said. In my opinion, I honestly don't think that he did do it. Maybe I don't. Well, I really don't know. But the thing is, for them to be bringing
20 stories is just
for them
such
to be
a
bringing
stretch.
it up now, though, it's like what for? Like, what are you trying to like prove? Like,
You know,
what
I
can
mean,
you-
for me-
I forgot who I was talking to, but someone was saying like, back in those times, like it was so much it was so much easier for the media to accuse someone black of doing something.
yeah, of course.
Because after like the civil rights movement was only like 20 years shy of that, so there was still so much racism, still is now.
I mean-
but it's like if someone as big and as African American as Bill Cosby was, if he was to do some. I think Mr. Reagan said this. I'm not gonna quote him though. I forgot who was telling me, but they were like, it would have been brought up immediately because it's like, a black guy raping multiple women.
Yeah, I don't
not,
even think
not
they
all of
would've
them
did-
being black.
They would have
My-
went into this death. I think it would have just been like, shut down. That's it. He did it. And then-
My only thing is that sure, these are still allegations, and there isn't ground proof, which is what's always going to keep it a question. We could always say, oh, I don't know.
Well, now they're
But
bringing
there's
it to court.
there's
so gonna
evidence
have to-
though. There isn't proof, but there's evidence that this might have actually happened. I understand it affects a lot of people. My dad is like a huge Bill Cosby fan, and the second this became news, it's kind of crazy. The night before this became like big news, Bill Cosby rape, I was talking to my dad because Bill Cosby was doing shows in Englewood, comedy shows, like
Yeah.
just talking to people. Me and my dad were like, dude, let's go. Next day it comes out that Bill Cosby, psycho rapist. My dad is like still in denial. Like, he doesn't want to believe it because that's like his idol. Now, for me, Bill Cosby was never my idol. I have tremendous respect for him, but you got to understand, if it's this many cases, and I want you to look this up, the most famous allegation, which basically has proof that this happened. She took pictures. She tried to sneak in taking pictures, and she got it, of Bill Cosby right after all this happened. You know, there's a little bit that you have to understand that even though Bill Cosby's done so much, you kind of have to, you know, just understand that these other people, although they aren't Bill Cosby, they might have been the victims of being raped. And I don't care who it is. It could have been Bill Cosby, could have been George Bush, could have been Barack Obama, could have been Hillary Clinton. It doesn't matter. It's somebody's getting raped, and you can't let it go by just because it's Bill Cosby. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you.
So I don't know. I don't know what to make of it myself. Just because, I mean, it's still a huge question mark. You have Bill Cosby saying he never did it, and of course he's not going to say he did it. But you have all these people that you never know. People might be trying to take money.
Since the early 2000s is worth consideration that it may have.
Well, yeah, because I know, like, even, like, I'm sure, like, back then when they heard it and they heard that it was
always
one.
happens, though. Anyone that's... I'm sorry to cut you off, Justin, but anyone that's ever... Like, even Tiger Woods, like, maybe Bill Cosby, like, you know, talk to you in a sexual manner, or maybe he brushed up on you just a little bit too much. Now you're going to take that to the extreme because you see an opportunity. You see, oh, well, it's like 3 women said it, so now I can jump on the bandwagon too and hopefully get my money. Like, you get what I'm saying? 20 women.
That's the only thing that makes me...
How is this different, though, than Tiger Woods?
Well,
I mean, Cosby is different than Tiger Woods.
But see, Tiger Woods was just cheating.
Yeah, he wasn't a rapist. He just, I mean, and then the whole thing came out that he was, like, addicted to sex. Whatever that came out about, that's not...
But Tiger Woods was not a father figure.
Well, Tiger Woods wasn't as big of a father figure as...
He might not have been a father figure, but listen, I don't like golf. I know most people don't really like golf, and everybody looked at Tiger Woods as, like, the biggest thing. Yeah. I never watched golf a day in my life, but the name that I'll always remember is Tiger Woods. Mm-hmm. You know, that's the type of idol he was. He was, what was he, like, one of the first golfers to, like, go front line for Gatorade and Nike? You know, that's a superstar. I think
he would have been the first athlete to make $1 billion off of endorsements alone.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and one other thing, Cosby was very outspoken about what he thought was wrong with the African American youth. He was always speaking out against their morals and what he saw, lack of morals, lack of respect, lack of things. He was very outspoken about it. Kids wearing baggy pants and all that stuff. And he looks, if these allegations are true, he looks extremely, extremely hypocritical. You know what? And he has clay feet.
I think eventually one of the cast, if it is true, one of the cast members is definitely going to come out and say, yeah, I got that vibe while we were on the set. I mean, like, there's no way you go by raping 20 women and no one on your cast member knows. Like, you have to notice that. He was flirting with one of the camera crew.
I don't think so. Raven Simone came out and said that she never got a weird vibe from him. He was extremely respectful to her. You also got to look at it like this. He's not going to be flirty with the people he's working with.
True.
You know? I mean, obviously, this was all kept on the down low.
Yeah, Raven Simone, right on it.
Raven Simone. Yeah, you can't really say anything. I still don't know what to believe because all of it's just stories at this point. But
then again, it's like I don't want to believe it.
That's
the problem. But
everybody.
If it happens, you have to.
Because it's like he's such.
People still didn't want to believe that Michael Jackson was raping Macaulay Culkin, but they got that money from him.
I mean, if we're gonna get into Michael Jackson, I think he's innocent.
We're not. Oh, you think he's innocent?
But we're not gonna get into that.
Yeah, we're not. That's just, it's done and gone. Let the man rest in peace. So we're gonna revisit this topic when more evidence comes out about Bill Cosby. Big humanitarian, father figure. Hopefully not an alleged rapist or rapist. That would be so sad to see a man like that. Who knows
what was in the pudding? You know.
Yep. Who knows what was in the pudding?
Even on the show.
Yep. And this has been the Young Gods Show. We want to thank Justin once again for coming on the show.
Flex Gods.
And we also want to thank Katie, who is behind the glass working the board. Thank you, Katie. Appreciate that. And we will see you guys later. My name is Keaton Jack. Oh, cut me off a little bit too early. My name is Keaton Jack. I'm your host, and we'll see you tomorrow. Next week. Slack.